The biggest plot twist that we will never expect. Sarada or Mitsuki will have the Shinjutsu ability possessed by Otsutsuki Shibai. I admit that this sounds crazy and doesn't make sense, even if you think that this is just nonsense. But believe me, I'm saying this not without a reason. Even though this has not been proven 100%, but who knew this would happen? So the story begins when Boruto and the others fight against Boro. He is one of Amado's cyborg creations. You should still remember Kashin Koji's words in chapter 13, after he summoned Boruto when he was being chased by some of the Sunagakure shinobi. Inside an Orochimaru relic base, Koji explains it has an ability that can see the future. And in essence, he got that ability from luck because of the Shibai cells that were transplanted into his body through the help of Amado as the one who created them. Not even just Kashin Koji. Boro, as one of them, also got the same thing as them. But before we get to the point, let's talk a little bit about who Boro is and what it's capable of. So, as one of the Kara members who has fought Boruto, Kawaki, Mitsuki, and Sarada, Boro is known as a Kara member who cannot be killed easily because he has extraordinary regeneration abilities. Behind that amazing regeneration ability, he also has a virus ability that is quite troublesome. This virus was created from a ninja science weapon that was transplanted into Boro's body, and it is the weapon that produces viruses in his body. In essence, Boruto and others who were then exposed to the Boro virus, Mitsuki found a way to neutralize the virus that had previously entered their bodies. And thanks to his abilities, Mitsuki managed to make antibodies by taking some of Boro's blood. Mitsuki produced the antibody through his body, and after that, he injected it into Boruto, Kawaki, and Sarada through his snake. But this is something unexpected with what Mitsuki did. Those who were previously exposed to the virus, Boro really didn't believe that the antibody made by Mitsuki through Boro's blood could work properly. So why did it happen? Mitsuki, who initially only put snake venom into Boro's body, he also turned out to take some of Boro's blood at the same time. And after Boro realized that the snake took some of his blood, that's when Boro began to understand how they could survive thanks to the antibodies that Mitsuki shared with Boruto and others through Boro's body. From Mitsuki's statement, maybe we can conclude that he has experimented with Boro's blood. I don't know how the process occurred in Mitsuki's body, but certainly he managed to successfully separate it with his own body's abilities. And if you still don't get the point of all this, the conclusion is that Mitsuki uses Boro blood that has antibodies as a way to neutralize the bodies of Boruto and others who have previously been exposed to the Boro virus. But because Mitsuki can process the virus and blood in Boro's body into an antibody that can save them, this becomes a clue, or it can be said to be a miracle that will happen in the future for them to inherit Otsutsuki Shibai cells. And if you are still confused of why this can happen, this has something to do with Kashin Koji's statement in chapter 13, which states that some of Amado's cyborg creations were transplanted by Otsutsuki Shibai cells. So, do you understand, guys? But on the other hand, I'm pretty sure that in the future, this will have something to do with Mitsuki getting a Shinjutsu ability inherited by Otsutsuki Shibai. Because once again, Kashin Koji confirmed to all of us that all Kara members have transplanted Otsutsuki Shibai cells, including himself, Boro, and Delta. But the three of them don't seem to be as lucky as Code, Kawaki, Ida, and Damon. But finally, Kashin Koji managed to awaken the ability of Shinjutsu thanks to his fight against Otsutsuki Ishiki. And from some of the things that have happened to Boruto, Mitsuki, and others, there is a considerable potential that Mitsuki, Sarada, and Boruto will awaken the power of one of Shibai's Shinjutsu thanks to Boro's blood that Mitsuki has taken and flowed into their bodies through the snake. But basically, I admit that this theory won't really work or happen. Because after all, it all depends on his luck, right? But with that theory, I want to ask, does it make sense if in the future one of them will inherit some Shinjutsu thanks to what Mitsuki did in the past? I want to hear your opinions, guys. But the point is, I firmly believe that the luck that Boruto, Sarada, and Mitsuki have is massive. Do you believe that something this small can become something big in the future Boruto stories? Of course, the reason is because we have seen similar events like this. But there are other examples of why this might be the case. For example, we never imagined that Minato would be able to use Kyuubi chakra, just like Naruto. But as it turns out, the Shikifujin ability that Minato once used to seal some of Kurama's chakra in his body actually made Minato potentially master the power of Kyuubi's chakra in the future. By comparing some of the things that have happened, the point is that some things we didn't expect could happen in the future, right? This means that there is a possibility that Boruto can awaken Shibai's Shinjutsu power because some of Boro's blood has been injected into his body, which blood has been mixed with some of Shibai Otsutsuki's cells. But when and how that process will happen, it will probably be the same as Kashin Koji. When one of them fights against Shinju, it is possible that the ability will awaken when they never expected it. But especially about Kawaki, he still has some great potential, which could be thanks to Amato, as the one who fully controls the power possessed by Kawaki. But if we talk about Kawaki, do you feel that the power that Kawaki generated when he fought Borushiki was the power that came from Boro's blood? But I don't think that's possible, because the power that rose when he fought Borushiki, it was pure karmic power that came from Amato's intervention when repairing Kawaki's body. And the power that will be generated from Boro's blood, it might come in the future. And that's probably what made Kawaki so much stronger, to the point that Boruto admitted that Kawaki had changed a lot. Although in the end, we will not know how Kawaki will get his real power. It is true, in chapter 15, it was proven that Amato hid Kawaki's power and adjusted his defense and regeneration. But what will be a matter is whether Amato will be willing to remove the limitation of Kawaki's power. Because if the limitation of Kawaki's power was removed, it is certain that Kawaki would not have the ability to defend and regenerate to the maximum, as Boruto knew, right? But on the other hand, have you come up with any other reasons why Sarada is immune to Ada's Xeno powers? Or maybe this is partly due to the Shibai cells in Sarada's body that started a long time ago? I mean, before Ida came to Konoha Village, Sarada was already getting the effects of Shibai cells that made her immune from Ida's Xeno power. But what about Sumire? Maybe what makes sense about Sumire is two things. First, because of the Nue power she has. Second, from her genius. Or it could also be because as a person who was always with Amato, she could find a way to overcome Ida's abilities. And since we now have an interesting fact for the reason why Sarada can be immune, it means that everything has become clearer, the reason why it can happen. Maybe there will be those who assume why only Sarada can be immune from Xeno's power. Why not Mitsuki? But certainly the reaction of Shibai cells in everyone's body will have different things. Not everyone who gets as Shibai cells will immediately react. It all depends on their level of luck. Maybe for now, Mitsuki hasn't been able to awaken that ability. He will awaken it when pressed or experience a difficult battle in his life, just like how Kashin Koji can awaken his Shinjutsu power. Perhaps from these theories, do you agree with me that someday, what happened in the past will be the reason why the three of them will awaken or have Shibai abilities due to the Boro blood that was shared into their bodies? Oh yeah, you don't have to get mad at me if you don't agree with what I'm saying. I'll be happy if you have other reasons, and maybe that's all the reasons this time. Don't get to look and stuff.